Hello, this is Justin. I want to take up time in this video and share with you about the role of education. I want my viewer to understand education from perspective. That education deals with acquisition of knowledge, of skills, and of values. Education could be formal if it has a curriculum, but education is also informal if we pass on information to other people, but without a curriculum where people are particularly assessed. So when there's a bit of assessment, then education is formal because it follows a certain order. That's to say, like there are tutors, there's a curriculum to follow, and there are awards of performance. Education has a key role or key roles, and that is why governments should be intentional and parents should also be intentional on providing education to their learners. Now, there's a satisfaction that people get when they're educated because they easily acquire jobs or they can create jobs using the kind of education they get in some of the subjects they learn. Now, currently, there are projects that are part of our education system. So it implies that if a child has attained education, through the skills they acquire in some of these projects, they can easily create their own jobs. Now, when it comes to a nation, when a nation is particular on education, those people get jobs and governments get revenue. But also, the educated people facilitate the utilization of the would-be idle resources. So when schools are established, resources like land are put into use. But also, when these people use the information that they get from school and create their own jobs, they usually utilize their available resources. So education also promotes economic growth. There are support centers to the education system. So institutions will thrive because somebody provides food or scholastics. So the companies that make these scholastics, they grow because of increase in demand for scholastic materials that are used in the education sector. The education sector also could provide foreign exchange because sometimes the people who are educated are more than the jobs available. So in most cases, that labor can be exported to other countries and the country gets foreign exchange. How do I look at education? I look at education in various aspects. Education is an economic good. It implies that we have to meet a cost to get it. And not everybody can get it, so education is scarce. Now, education also has an opportunity cost because you have to forego some things to acquire education. The parents forego that money they would have used for investment to give their children education, just like the children forego some things to keep in school. Education is also a consumer good because it gives us satisfaction when people can follow some arguments because of education, but also satisfaction that they can easily get jobs and usually well-paying jobs. Now, education is not just an economic good or a consumer good. It's an investment, and you can also make losses in case the learner fails. Because remember, I've told you that education has a curriculum, so curriculum that the children follow. So in case the learner fails, the parent has made a loss, but the learner has also lost time and money that they have invested into education. Education may have a lot of challenges, especially with manpower, if the teachers are not skilled, technology. Sometimes we need to teach using technology, and probably there are hiccups, whether poor supply of power or internet or electricity that could slow down the transfer of information during the teaching and learning process. It could be the poor infrastructure if there were roads and children cannot easily acquire education. The major challenge to the teaching and learning process comes with the staff or the teachers, and therefore government can be intentional on improving the wage bill for staff to make sure that children acquire education, and also improve infrastructure such as roads, allow access to internet so children can easily acquire information and acquire it on time. It can increase the budget that it gives to the education sector so that through that budget, teachers can be paid, more schools can be rehabilitated or built for nations to grow and therefore develop. Education not only benefits the person who gets it, but it also benefits the nation because it reduces unemployment, it increases resource utilization, it promotes economic growth, it reduces the high crime rate, and increases foreign exchange earnings, among the other benefits. This and more if you continue following my channel, Economics for Today and Tomorrow.